preparing this time to help our nation. It's Nigeria that is calling, not Ebola Tinubu. And the hope of the entire nation hangs on you people. Ayo Salami, how are you? Good to see you. I want to see the challenge of the present time. Having listened to Wale, you've heard clearly what I would call you here. I can give instructions as the president from my office. But I believe so much deeply in the organized private sector. The partnership to drive the economy of this country, for reforms and stabilization that is necessary. Give the incentive where we must, and leave the market to control the pricing mechanism and the consumption. In the face of it, then we have the challenge of energy security. We need to work together to include power, oil, and gas, to increase our own grid electricity. We are determined to do that with your cooperation and collaboration and recommendations. As a nation, it's so shameful that we are about 4.5 gigawatts. We must increase our oil production too, to 2 million barrels per day within the next few months. Remove all barriers for entry investment into the sector to enhance competitiveness. And we've had a challenge thrown at us, and all of us, we have to be careful. I believe today is Americans' 150th celebration of their independence, while we were celebrating 25 years progress in democracy. We have to look back and see how well we've navigated ourselves and look forward to better economic navigation. Food security is essential. I have declared a state of emergency on food security, and we must increase our staple crops by smallholder farmers. We are going to improve on mechanization. We've identified part of the infrastructural development to be within the reach. If you look at Sokoto Badagry Road, you have about 36, areas, dams that you can tap electricity from and generate additional electricity and do reticulation and help the agriculture and create arable farmland. ready to listen to you on all of that. You have seen us from close quarters, but we are one. And we feel the market pinches differently. The price of foodstuff and all of that. Believe Bismarck Rewani will be able to make additional suggestion on what we are lacking or what we should do to stabilize this economy. The Manufacturing Stabilization Fund, MSME2, and other fiscal measures has been enumerated. I just want to say thank you for responding to this call. Let me thank my friends.
Nuisance Lele.
So that was Kolu there. Picking words from the screen, and then, So Dangote will help Nigeria and others to stabilize Nigeria economy. They are going to help Tinubu to increase Nigeria oil production to 2 million. Dangote and others are going to help Tinubu, Elumemu and co. These are the people that have been, they have been the people that have been going in and out, taking pictures, and doing all of these press conferences and all that. Anyway, so after all of that, Dangote came out. Tinubu was such a brilliant person. This economy is going to recover. Right, Alaji, we are here.
Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Honorable Minister of National Planning, Tony Elumemu, distinguished members of the press. I think really today, to me personally, it's a great day that the President has launched this, Presidential Economic Coordinating Council, where the private sector and the public sector will actually work together to make sure that we better the lives of our people. You must have heard, even though I'm sorry I came in a bit late, I was addressing the press again outside. The Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy explained to you the kind of interventions that the government is going to make, I think almost 2 trillion. Apart from that, we are going to sit down and advise government the kind of policies that government will roll out. Most of these things, we have them. They've already been discussed over and over. It's just a matter of implementation. And I think the choice of people that we have at this, Presidential Economic Coordinating Committee, they are good enough to be able to advise government how to implement. Our own from the private sector is now, to actually do our own bit, which is to invest heavily and create jobs. Government, they don't really create jobs, but what they do is to give us the right policies, which I think we have all these policies. You can see intervention in gas. What the Honorable Minister said earlier on, getting OB3 alone to work will have additional $2 billion inwards into the economy. It will help. There are other also industries that will also bring in a lot of money into the country. Like what I keep saying, our own issues are not that bad. This economy can be turned around within few months, and I think we're on that way. I must really thank His Excellency, Mr. President, for inaugurating this council, and we'll start meeting immediately, and I can assure you, you'll see a lot of changes coming. I know that everybody is in a hurry, but we have what it takes to turn around this economy. Things are not going to be bad. We are now just we've gone to the bottom, but we're going to rise up and make sure that we make every single Nigerian proud to be a Nigerian. Thank you.
You get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. Dangote, come. What do you need? Yes, sir. If they increase the 30% interest, you need to bring the percentage down for businesses so that businesses cannot. Hey, Dangote, calm down. What percentage do you want? You, Dangote. Yes, sir. Mr. President, if we can do like maybe 5%, is that what you want? You, Dangote. Yes, sir. Approved. Yeah, approved. So many of you have forgotten when Dangote met with Tinubu a few months ago. And then they said Dangote was donating rice all over the country as part of helping and supporting Tinubu's government in alleviating hunger and poverty. I bet you, you don't forget. Don't worry, I will remind you. Dangote is a quota system. If anything is going to go down, he is going to be the one that is going to benefit it. Trust me, I've seen it happen many times. This guy was also part of the Bokwari's economic advisory, whatever. Elumemu, this guy, Dangote, and many of them like that. They were the paddy around Pastor Ruga. When Pastor Ruga was the one they said was leading economy. I bet you, no, don't forget. Please don't. Don't. I'll remind you though. So he is always there, and if he screams out, right, he's practically just talking about himself, not about all of you. You can't be that, Tinubu, the Mr. Strategist, person will be say you no need him body, now him brain you need. Now once Dangote, there's nothing wrong in they will turn the economy around in the next few months. I call you with your idea.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
That's all. Dangote. My people said you have a complaint. Not me, sir. Mr. President, it's just about everything. But you are part of us. What do you want? Yes, I am hearing that by September, they are going to increase interest rates in Nigeria to over 40%. And that is going to kill all this. I'm just... Dangote, what do you want? What do you want? Whatever you want. Consider it done. In fact, we are going to put 2 trillion in Nigeria economy. Yanko, are you happy? Smile. Mr. President, yes, sir. That's all right. Yeah. Smile. They will take you to the next room. Dear, there are cameras waiting for you. You will need to go and face the camera and tell them that, Abi, 2 trillion. Abi, what do you think? Mr. President, if you put that in the economy, it's going to change a lot. I'm going to put it in the economy. Don't worry. Wale Idun, Kadobi, one ma lead the boss in the next room. And that's exactly what happened there. In the next few months, right? You will be in a serious mess that I can't really describe. But this lawyer, Inebe, he had this to say.
To come in, we need to look at these issues. But for me, what I have seen so far on ground, I don't so much believe that it will have much impact.
All right, Ms. Enibe, your take on this particular issue as we wrap up. I think it would be delusional, with profound respect, to expect that Alhaji Aliko Dangote and others will change the Nigerian economy. These individuals who have made money for themselves, they are lifetime economic advisors to every government in power. It is just window dressing. Dangote is not going to solve our economic problem. He's a man who is driven by profit. So he's not going to devise policies that will promote the Nigerian economy and against his own interests. But let us be serious. This president does not understand the reality, the urgency of now. You cannot be speaking about changing the economy and you are still dissipating public funds on things that do not matter. This is a president that we were told had expertise in gathering technocrats. Where are the Tinubu technocrats? They are nowhere to be found. One year after, this president has not come out.
All the people around him, Wale, Edu, Cardoso, all of these guys.
They are busy with things that matter to them, but clearly not the interests of the Nigerian people. Because we have not seen the policies. We have not seen the actions. What we see is the sustenance of the culture of West. You cannot say that in a country that inflation is abominable, electricity tariff has just been increased again, right? Price of fuel is going up. Cost of basic commodities is escalating. The government is not addressing that. They are wasting money building, edifice for the vice president, wasting money on the convoy of the president, trying to buy a new aircraft for the president in an economy that has almost collapsed. These people are not serious, and they should admit it. They are taking Nigerians for granted, and time is running out. Look at what is happening in Kenya. Why are they so insensitive? They are not reading the handwriting on the wall. That the Nigerian people are being pushed too far. You have today the Kenyan president speaking on X, addressing over 120,000 people. I listened to it directly. Right. In 1 year, Tinubu has not spoken to Nigerians. So how can he understand what we are going through? It is impossible.
Okay, that's a lot in quick succession. I must thank you both for coming on the program. Mr. Dachong Bago.
Don't worry. He never talks to them. He talks through proxies. He talks through other people who are now like interpreter. He's a god that when he opens his mouth is to feel himself and all of that. Anything against that is considered a treason. Just so you know, 6 years ago, in 2018, as part of the ongoing scam, that Nigeria was still going to lose nearly $10 billion. 6 years ago, Dangote refinery, the one to ban on recently.
Today, because of since morning, there were very heavy rains. So welding permits and all those things as per the safety gateway, when the consultation cycle has withdrawn. But civil works we are continuing everywhere, ground floor. On the top, wherever the works were there, because of heavy rains. Night again we will be starting work at 7 p.m. We are running 2 shifts now at the site, 7 to 7 in the morning. So Siphon team is also here, and our Dangote team is both the construction. Dangote team was up to 8 minutes. Because there is now major job left here is the flooring and this block. Finishing job from the flooring in that.
The flooring, so they can do much faster. Why are they doing this one bit and then they walk away?
And in the last 6 years, Nigeria's money, the one they've managed to make public, is almost $10 billion. And the refinery is yet to refine a teaspoonful of crude oil. The scam runs so deep that the person building refinery also have the import license to bring diesel and petrol into Nigeria. So story after story, excuse after excuse, year after year, Nigeria continue to bleed through it. And now, it's managed to bring some of this refined product into Nigeria. He's blaming the international oil companies, he called them, that because they were the ones who were setting the price of crude oil abroad. So they are the ones setting the price, and they are the ones setting the price just to make sure that he is unable to afford to buy crude oil to refine in his refinery. So it's part of his cry, by the way. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Why? 6 years ago, when that video was online, the story then was in 2018, by the year 2019, Dangote refinery will start to work. And guess what? Dangote refinery was going to be provided crude oil from Niger Delta. To make it more lucrative, Dangote refinery was going to be buying the crude oil in Naira. All scam, all lies. But people actually believed that. Omo, if Dangote is getting 600,000 barrels of crude oil from Nigeria every day, in Naira, you see all that money they are spending on importing petrol to Nigeria, diesel and all these things to Nigeria. You know what's going to happen? It will just go from 100% to 0. That's something so huge and powerful. Dangote will just be the Lord, like your small God. Forget about that things, if he actually put it off. If that deal they told you then was real, but it was all scam to steal over $10 billion from Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria spent over 5 trillion naira. That's more than $4 billion every year on importing fuel. Subsidizing the imported fuel to Nigeria so that they will sell, so that they could sell the liter of petroleum at over 600 naira per liter. Over $4 billion. So imagine if you have all of that refined locally, and the money for the crude oil from Niger Delta to Lagos, Dangote refinery. Do you actually imagine what that means economically? I mean, I understand the economic impact, environmental impact too. But yeah. I'm just saying, if they have actually been honest, that simply means that there's going to be this load of money that will just suddenly be available for the government of Nigeria just by selling crude oil to Dangote. And Dangote will be making such a kill with the population of 200 million, if Nigeria is actually 200 million, no. Population of 200 million people. You are the one selling them their cooking gas. You are the one selling them their diesel, their petrol, their kerosene, and all of that. Just you. Can you even imagine that? Not just Nigeria. Then you have more than another 200 million West Africans, East Africans, other Africans, other African markets that you are going to just bombard with the cheap, clean, refined Nigerian oil. Nigerian naira will just be the exchange rate. Just like that, you just save your naira. Just like that, if they have done it 6 years ago. We didn't know they were pulling a scam. We did know they were pulling a scam. We just had no idea how big the scam was. But they went there to open the place. Now, Dangote is now telling everybody, what happened is that when they were telling them those lies, in fact, Bokwari already sold the Nigerian crude oil future prospect. They call it a future oil prospect, which means the crude oil that will be extracted from Nigeria for the next 10 years have already been sold, and Nigeria have collected their own royalty percentage. Bokwari collected over $25 billion. Do you even remember that? How many of you remember my Kanti Baru, the former NNPC GMD? Do you remember? He's dead now. During COVID, he died. Do you remember him? Do you remember when he took a check of the sold oil blocks in Nigeria when they renewed the licenses of oil, oil explorers in Nigeria, all those oil blocks? They made over $25 billion. $25 billion, which is like a future prospect to supposedly paid to secure the licenses to extract crude oil from Nigeria for the next 10 years. Do you remember that? Bokwari was on the hospital bed in London. It was Abba Kyari, who is also dead now, that was the de facto president of Nigeria at the time. Have you forgotten? No, you can't forget. It's significant. You need to understand it.